Hey there, welcome to C&T Collectibles. I am C. Hope you're doing well today. This is our Friday or weekend, but it's Friday actually when I'm releasing it. You can watch it whenever you want. Chart Blast, where we look at the price action of our favorite collectibles. Price is truth. That's what matters the most. And so let's just see what's going on in the world of sports cards. We start off as always with Mike Trout. No more important card to our generation. So as he goes, so go parts of the market, at least, as we discovered the other day in our correlation video. But bottom line is there's no current player as of now that can be priced higher than him. So as he goes up, it creates room for other cards to go up, and as he goes down, it creates compresses the prices that other cards can have here. So anyways, he continues to trend down. Momentum hasn't quite crossed over yet. It met its the short-term momentum met its longer-term momentum buying power, and is rolling over again, and we're running out of space here. So very soon we're going to have a make or break with prices compressing. You must have to favor a break down in these prices here, but a sideways action or a breakout would be welcome. But again, probabilities say you have a breakdown, but it hasn't happened yet. It's really respecting the upper area of this support zone here, but again, running out of room and momentum. Again, kind of flattish, but it is in negative mode for now. The PSA 9, kind of the same thing. Top end of the support zone, is down. I had a couple of really nice sales recently, but they were quickly reversed, and so here's an area where a lot of buying has stepped in. So let's see if those buyers can step in once again. Again, a Mike Trout breakdown will have implications for the rest of the market here. The BGS 9, if you have a little less appetite for price or whatever, but you like a nice condition Mike Trout, then this is maybe an appealing option. So again, there's some downside possibilities here as it broke down out of its longer term trend here, but there's some buying curling back up just a little bit, and honestly, I'm right in there. I'm one of those. I just wanted to cross it off my list and be done with it, and if it goes against me a couple $100, I'm not into this thing for thousands or anything like that, and it's something I'm just going to hang on and pass down and all that kind of good stuff. So not too worried about it at that price, and just wanted to have a Mike Trout. So I screwed things up a little bit here, people, but it is what it is. All right, Albert Pujols, top Chrome traded. Look at some of the other players that are on that Hall of Fame track. The track my ass, he's in. So uptrend is broken here, so maybe if I drew a fatter line here, then it's not broken, it's just sitting right on it here. So there's some buying in this area here, so we'll see what happens with Mr. Pujols. If we can get some buyers to step in and kind of push it up, otherwise it's going to get real choppy. And in here, there's nobody that bought in this area here, and you could see a precipitous drop. I mean, that's $200 considering sitting right now at 625. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we're so far away from that right now. There's an area here where there's been a lot of buying here, but a lot of those legend cards are rolling over right now. So Miggy Cabrera, Tony 2000 top score traded in a PSA 9. $200 is your line in the sand here, and it tagged it, and so we'll see if it can hang on here. It's compressing lower, but above 200 you are right. Below 200, it's going to be a quick move down into this area here, 150-ish or something like that. So if you are looking for a Miggy, then prices are trending lower here, and you might get another crack at that $200 area. But again, we'll see. A lot of these things, very little buying in this area, so you look for it to return to a level, and we're seeing a lot of those cards. Look at the Jordan and all that. They're doing the same thing. They're just retesting this area that they've bumped up against multiple times in the past. Juan Soto, new legend. So we are seeing a buy signal on him. So our sell came in right around that 350 area with your last chance to sell at about 280. But now we're getting a pretty decent buy signal. It's curling up, and I've talked about him for a while, but I think it was Scotty B had a video a couple of days ago on is it time to buy Juan Soto, and he might have a little bit wider reach than me. I'm not sure. So perhaps that's enough to get him going here. So could see an eventual move if he really starts tearing it up the second half, and the numbers say it's certainly possible. Back up into this 280, 270, 280 area here. So I've liked him before, and I still like him. So there you go, Juan Soto. Who doesn't like Juan Soto? Chrome ripping. So it had hit its support zone here, and is getting a nice lift here, breaking its downtrend. So just a couple of sales brought it up into this area here. So you could see some backing and filling and messing around in this area here. But again, I think you're getting close to that 220, 230, 240 area, then you can probably be all right then. That's at a $300, 320 price right now, so it's not an insignificant move down or anything like that. But be on the lookout more for buying than selling, I think, at this point in that card. And the Bowman's Best, it's very thinly traded, so it's not worth it to draw a ton of trend lines or anything like that, but it is bumping up against one. And again, I think for from here on out, especially with Soto's, unless something happens where he's injured or out for an extended period, this is more of a buying opportunity for him on any of the pullbacks. Vlad, bottom of the range, got a bounce, so sitting at the bottom range, said respect the trend, but momentum is rolling over, and that's repairing itself here. So never really did produce a full sell signal or anything like that. So the trend is up until it isn't. On Vladdy, all he has to do is just maintain a 350 average, 60 home run pace. I suppose he'll be fine. So, but the updates are getting a little bit of love as people are kind of priced out of the no number and the chromes and all that. They're going to look for this, and again, not a true rookie card or anything like that, but it's got the RC logo and it's an affordable version, and I don't fault anybody for going that direction if they want a Vladdy. So a nice pop on the updates. Shohei Ohtani, this is the batting version here, top of the range, coming off a little bit here, so it's at a support zone, really thin up here, so it's just going to be volatile. Again, this we're not seeing millions of these traded on a daily basis, so it's real tough to get a gauge on what happens next. It only takes one person to drop it down or to drop it or to bring it back up to the top of the range here. So it's sitting at a support zone. Honestly, not anything that I'm going to do at this point here. Momentum is very strong, but also very extended. You can see the power of that move. Those bands are very, very wide. So the trend is up still, but kind of in the middle of the range, and there's not a lot to do about that one. Again, very, very thin, which isn't a great sign. There's not a lot of interest at this point, and that thing could get pushed around. The update pitching red jersey, putting in some new highs here. So current price $290, high price $290. Those are new highs, and it went up so fast that card ladder couldn't even get their logo out of the way here. So the trend remains up. Didn't come back down as maybe we had thought on that one, but buyers are anxious on this one here. So just close your eyes and just follow the trend. I suppose at this point we did have a 260, 270 price target on this one, and it has exceeded that one. So I'm out, and not that I was in, at this point. All right, I apologize. Don't people know I'm recording here? So anyways, bottom of the range for Tatis. Momentum, it's up and down. Again, the width of these bands, and that's kind of flat. I'm just looking for a lot of sideways action here, but bottom of the range, your risk reward is favorable for Tatis, and he's awesome. All right, his Chrome update, again, a little bit of a breakdown here. We looked at this one last week, and no change. I don't think there's really been a sale here. So you have this compression, and it looks like it's breaking lower. I don't think it goes down crazy. What are we sitting at? $127. So you've got downside to, I think that's $90, something like that. So there's a little bit of downside, but I think you'd see some aggressive buying if it got to that level. And it certainly does. The next buyer could easily come in and push that price back up, but that is broken until it isn't. Mookie Betts, this is a problem here overall. Momentum down, and it's accelerating to the downside here. It looked like it was flattening out, but then there was a sale that brought it just below the support zone here. So this, again, hopefully a couple of people are interested in this price and lift it back up for the Mookie Bulls. And really, the last couple of weeks he's been playing terrific. So. But he's getting into a real bargain territory here. So, yeah, let's see what happens here if we can get a few more buyers in here. But you have a lot of people that recently bought in this area, and if you see these lower prices, it could certainly bring them out. Just like you saw up here, a lot of these people that bought and immediately started to see their price go from 1,000 to 900 to 800, and probably many of them sold right in here as well. Well, these people may sold if you cannot get those prices to recover in the near term here. And so let's look at the correlations just a little bit here. And these are some of the big dogs here: Pujols, Trout, Cabrera, Betts. A couple of them are going in. Also going in, and probably going in as long as he can put in a few more years of just playing middling baseball, which he's more than capable of. And you can see that they're all kind of tracking each other to an extent. You've got pops here and there, but they're also all just rolling over. So as Mookie breaks down, and Miggy, perhaps Pujols, maybe it favors Trout breaking down as well, which could have implications for kind of that higher end legends part of the overall market. But you look at the younger guns here, and you can see it, they're starting to curl up just a bit here. So Soto, Tatis, and Vlad. Vlad, obviously, he's on a tear here, but they've tracked each other fairly well here. So you have a couple different, within the card asset class, a couple different sectors here. You've got the old guys, and you got some of the young guys here. And so the old guys may be rolling over a little bit, and you're starting to see some of the younger guys curl up and finding decent levels of buying interest. All right, move myself up just a little bit here. Corey Seeger, compression, breakdown, and the downtrend continues, but he's coming into a zone where there's been enough buying, and he's on I think he's coming back really, really soon here if he didn't already come back yesterday or today, recording this on Thursday. Interesting track here. It's really about health for him. He put up a couple amazing years right off the bat, had a few health issues, incredible World Series last year. Don't buy into that hype. But, now he's coming into a zone where if you don't have any Corey Seager, like I don't have any Corey Seager, I'm interested, and I'm going to buy, probably not PSA 10s or anything. I prefer raws if I'm going to do anything, a 9. But it's coming into an area that, I think I've mentioned I'm looking for Seager, and I am still looking for a Seager. All right, Juan Moncada, Topps Chrome update. Look at his numbers. Oh, hold on, I'm going to pull him up. All right, so he's a 70 grade prospect, just turned 26 years old. He's got 13 wins to his name. This year, hitting 279, 8 home runs. All right, it doesn't sound like super impressive, but 136 weighted runs created. He's scoring runs, knocking in runs at a pretty nice clip. You look at his StatCast numbers, and I'm looking at him, so that's why I'm not looking at you right now. But again, nice exit velocity 90, 111 maximum exit velocity, and he's barreling up the ball, 10% of the time. This is, again, a really, really interesting young player that's been producing for a couple years here. And so over the next year, if he can average, and really the next decade, be a 5-win player. So what you're looking for over the next couple of years, if he starts putting up 6-7 wins, a couple of times here, I think there'll be a ton of interest in his cards. And right now, he's got 2 versions of his rookie card. The Series 1 was him running in his Red Sox uniform. So this is the one I think is actually more in demand, the update, where he's fielding in his White Sox uniform, coming into an area that I think is very interesting to buy. And I think, $20-$30 for him right now, for a player that's actually been up and producing for a few years, is heck. I mean, there's probably worse things to spend $30 on. So I am looking strongly at one. I've got some of his things. I honestly, as a hint, his Sapphires are in a PSA 10 are going for under $150, and I know that for a good reason. So all right, Walker Buehler, Topps Grove, bottom of the range here. It's a pitcher. Do you really care? All right, Pete Alonso, big move last week after the home run derby, and said those can't count for anything. Leave that alone. Let it come back down to a better level here, and you're at a better level here. So even better level is on Star Stock, but right now $38, $38, 40, between $30 and $40, I think, for a player, PSA 10 of a player that youngish, and he could have some really, really terrific years. Again, long term relevance, too early to tell. Probably not. But at the same time, could he have a few more seasons of 30, 40 home runs? That should attract some interest. So, all right, Bryce Harper, he's on a very similar Hall of Fame track to Mookie Betts, but he also has like 300 more base rookie cards, so the prices aren't going to be terribly correlated, so you can't use those for value. But we looked at him a while ago, looked at the breakdown, said, $90. See if you can get him around there. So it did come back into the range, looked a little bit lower. So bottom of the range here, if you don't have a Bryce Harper, start considering a Bryce Harper if you're looking for potential Hall of Famers. Bobby Witt Jr. Support zone here looks interesting enough. The trend is still down on that one, but I thought you were supposed to sell when they come up, not here when they start making their minor league debut or anything like that. So looks like the real deal could get a lot of hype over the next year. This card, if it starts attracting a lot of buying in this area, maybe consider jumping on board. And then again, once the Royals call them up, dump them. So Gavin Lux, Chrome Refractor. I don't even know why this one is in here. So. Not much to do in this one other than if you really have to have one of these things, they're going for like $15 on Star Stock, so a heck of a deal to be had over there. And Freddie Freeman, he won an MVP last year, but that was like so long ago. Too bad. What have you done for us lately? So top of the range and a breakdown, coming back into what's potentially the bottom of the range. Too early to tell. So if we get some buying in here and it holds, then it is. But if it cannot hold this, then you can see further declines. And currently $150. I mean, that's, you're going to pay more for Juan Soto and those guys, and this dude has an MVP, and he's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. Alex Bregman, price is compressing lower here in a decent support zone. He should be coming back soon, and when he plays, he is a terrific player. If you do not have an Alex Bregman, you do not hit the Astros. Might be a tough combination to find, but if you meet those two criteria, then I think look very hard at Alex Bregman, right around that $40 area. We'll see here, but it's risky. So the trend is down until it is on this one, but this is a pretty reliable reversal pattern. All right, basketball, Michael Jordan, PSA 8. The PSA 10, you'd see new highs on that one here. The PSA 8, not so much, but downtrend continues, trying to break its way out. We'll see again. So like a lot of those guys, Miggy we just looked at, but it's testing those previous resistance areas. So resistance becomes support, and so as long as it holds the 7,300, 7,400 area, you can go sideways, and there's a ton of buying in here actually. So I'd like to see this thing curl back up and sustain a break out of this, or at least just go sideways. But below this, that could be a real problem, because a lot of these people are underwater and they might just throw in the towel at some point here. So sideways action and momentum wants to turn up, but just quite hasn't yet. Luca, there's your representative for the young guns. If you want to look at how each of these, how the old guys doing, how the young guys doing. I think Luca's one of the players you need to look at. Downtrend continues, but we are on a buy signal. So if you're buying Luca, that $680, $700 area is kind of your line in the sand, but it is curling up. So we like the flatness of this one. We have seen it before, so we'll see if we can bust out of this downtrend here. It seems like it sure wants to, with that momentum curling up here. So sometimes you do see these things pop up and then come right back down. So you want to see a few sales outside of there. But again, if you want to buy it, just give yourself 10% buffer, and I think you'd be okay longer term on that one. Giannis had himself a nice week, and think Pete Alonso on this move right here. So is it getting any better for him right now? Maybe not. So pretty terrific stuff. But for now, this is a powerful move with not a lot of buying here, and a lot of people that bought it here. It'll only take a few, not even a lot of people. It just takes a few people. You had 2 sales, 3 sales here, and so 5 people say, "Oh, I'll sell right now." You've overwhelmed the people willing to pay this price, and it comes back down. So wouldn't do much with it here. Again, probably your bottom. Just a real piercing bottom here with your consolidation. So you do favor some upside here on this one, but that may be a little too much too quick. And Jason Tatum got a little bump, flipping Steve on his live stream Monday. A lot of Tatum talk, so I figure, all right, I'll look at him, because I don't know who to throw in for basketball very often here, but sure looks like a bottom. Momentum is rolling to the upside here, and so could see some decent upside sitting at what is that, like $500, and where is it currently at right now? $350. So yeah, that's the top of the range right now. You said the bottom range. Now it breaks below this, you've set up a new lower range, and that doesn't work at all. But right now there's upside to from where you're at to 500, as long as that holds. Always a caveat on this stuff. And Chris Paul, technicians will recognize the dandruff on this one in the breakdown. So some buying on this one. You better hope that comes in, and that's at $600. Currently at a $900 card, so it could still get cut down 30%. So we'll see what happens if someone can buy and get back in here. But if not, then I'll move to 600, and then there's no buying in here. There's very little, and so you don't have a lot of people that remember that price and are willing to step in. It could see significantly lower prices overall. So we'll watch that one closely. If anybody has a keen interest in Chris Paul, throw it in the regular rotation. Otherwise, I don't care. All right, John Morant. Haven't looked at him for a while, but we did have a $200 price target on that, and here you are. For the most part, and so he hasn't broken his downtrend, but that's probably far enough anyway. So math just says, you have a $200 move here, you have a $200 move here. Here's your $200 price tag, and have fun. All right, football. Tom Brady. What do you think? Sub $10,000 Tom Brady PSA 10 could happen, I suppose. So a little closer look at that one. It's trending down and it's compressing. So in the very near future, we'll know if those prices want to go up or if they want to go down. For now, they're trending down. And again, this is kind of a reversal pattern at some point, but doesn't have to. And you have this line in the sand that we've seen Miggy and Jordan and some of those other greats hit. And so we'll have to watch that one. But that's a sub $10,000 price right there. So it's traveling down, and maybe that's a magnet. So we'll see what happens. But that's been a pretty controlled descent overall. Patrick Mahomes. Young guy, but also a legend. Kind of an interesting mixture there. So prices are continuing to trend down and compressing. So would like to see them break up and out, but with the each time that it bounces off the support zone, the sellers are coming in quicker and quicker, and eventually that pressure I'll probably say it breaks down. So we're not there yet, but something to be aware of. Again, this is kind of your line in the sand if you are a Mahomes purchaser. Baker Mayfield flirting with that $400 area. Love the breakout, but has to hold it, and so it's breaking down out of its longer term trend here, so it can just go sideways. It doesn't have to collapse or anything like that, but it is kind of a problem here, and it really needs to hang on to this zone. Otherwise, you're going to start coming down to lower levels by the hundreds, really. So we'll see what happens as we get closer to football season and Russell Wilson. There it is, Russell Wilson. So trend is down, lower part of the range here, so it could be a little bit of downside. It's getting a little bit choppy, but there's been decent support, and we're closer to that than we are to closer to the bottom, probably to the top, at least in the near term for I guess all probabilities would say, but it doesn't have to work out like that. Oh, pause again. And you can see the correlation of some of these younger guys, Wilson, Jackson, Kyler Murray, where they ramped up into the season. Lamar Jackson peaked a little bit early here. There's pills for that. And then Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray kind of followed suit, and you can see that they're tracking very similarly. So, again, in all these sports, I think if you just group them to the old guys and legends, and the younger guys, you'll see them go, and then your job is to see who's playing well and outperforming. It's always the trick. Most of those players aren't going to get a lot of attention, but the ones that are, like, the Vladdy or whatever, Baker, I guess in this case, they're going to trend up, and those are the guys that you want to focus on, I suppose. All right. CeeDee Lamb, whatever. He can't. That's the raw. It's like 15, 20, $10 or something like that. Yeah, $10. But anyways, I think people are looking for him to have a good season here, and for $10, there's probably worse things you could do. All right, Kilian Mbappe. I don't know a lot about soccer, but this is a name that comes up pretty often. Top of the range coming down. Very important support zone here. If you cannot hold this, you get a lot of buyers in here. There's a ton of people up here that are underwater. And if they start seeing this thing really get hammered, how many people are willing to step in and absorb all that supply? Doesn't really look good, because there's not a lot of people that remember this price here. These things could absolutely get rocked. So there are implications still. There's areas of the market that I think have bottomed, but there's still larger parts of the market that don't look entirely healthy here. Especially in that low end, I think there's a lot of people that are showing some interest, and they're not willing to commit huge amounts of money to this thing yet. So they're interested in buying, just not a high dollar amounts. A little bit of that in select players, but a lot of those big names might lower grades, but it's still, we're not out of the woods by any stretch here, so you got to manage that risk. Charizard, trend remains down. Nice pop here, buy signal. We like the breakout, but I wasn't able to hold it. Came right back to the range, and now you're at the top of the range here. So again, your risk reward is unfavorable. Here's your reward, and here's your risk, until you can bust out of this and really hang on. So. All right, that's what I got for you. Appreciate you doing your homework here. So pencils down, beers up. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll talk at you later. Bye.